Coming up on the Uplift, a new place to stay on the North Shore. See why these tiny homes are good for you and the environment. Then it's Santa's turn to be spoiled. Hear how the story of one organization turned Christmas around for a Minnesotan who needed it more than ever. And it's a place to practice healing inside of a school. Why smudging is now allowed in St. Paul classrooms and the power it holds for students. Welcome to the Uplift. In this new digital series, we're going to be sharing some of our favorite stories that we are sure will put a smile on your face. It's our goal to lift your spirits here for at least the next 30 minutes and hopefully for a lot longer. I'm Susan Elizabeth Littlefield. We thank you so much for being with us. More sustainable housing options are coming to Duluth, and it's not your typical type of home. Instead, these are tiny homes. Colorado-based Simply Tiny Development is partnering with the Duluth Housing and Redevelopment Authority to build these all around the city. The homes are downsized versions of normal homes and are built to be more sustainable. The group CEO, Sean Dixon, says that the homes are made with more eco-friendly products. That means using things like special paints that give off less harmful odors and chemicals. It's also built with durability in mind, using more sturdy and sustainable piers on the deck and natural hemp insulation in the walls. The company says that Duluth was the perfect place to develop these homes because it can use the city's housing trust fund. And we want to share a happy update with you from one of our brave Minnesotans. Being diagnosed with cancer isn't easy at any age, but it's particularly hard on kids. In 2021, Flynn was diagnosed with a rare and aggressive kidney cancer. Despite the challenges he has faced, he is managing to stay positive and to have fun. During his long 44 weeks of chemotherapy and radiation, followed by a big surgery, Flynn enjoyed riding his tricycle around the hospital halls and pretending to be in Mario Kart. And we have some great news. His most recent scans show no evidence of cancer, and Flynn was able to start school for the first time this year. We are all wishing you the very best, Flynn. It's only September, so most of us aren't really thinking about the holidays just yet, but holiday prep for one local group is already underway, and for good reason. Their special surprises make sure that those going through the hardest times still get to enjoy Christmas. Here's a look at their mission and how you can help them help others in a really fun way. For many, it's a season of joy, and year after year, Terry embodies that joy. Around Plymouth, his surname is Santa.
Nobody turns down Santa, so I'd sit and chat with people, and it was a joy.
A joy, a life that was interrupted by cancer.
All of a sudden, the doctor's appointments trump everything else, right? And there are just all kinds of questions because you don't know, will you be able to keep working? We've got 3 daughters.
Terry had non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. Down but not defeated, Terry attempted to carry on his Christmas character in the hospital.
And I went around to all the nurses on my floor and I handed them, they got to pick candy from Santa. Even though I didn't have the beard, I didn't have the get up, I said, I'm one of Santa's helpers, and they just thought that was the best thing. So I was able to bring Santa to them, a little bit of Christmas.
About that time, Terry's sister heard about Best Christmas Ever. They pop in on people who are going through cancer, going through loss, and make sure that in the worst of times, they still have the best Christmas.
It's kind of like, if you think about it, Make-A-Wish meets Red Cross, had a baby at Christmas.
Captains, as they are called, volunteer to take on families to lavish with thoughtful and personalized gifts.
Because how many people are in the hospital right now that are getting the worst news possible and they have absolutely no hope, but then a volunteer steps forward that says, you know what, I'm going to do something about this one. Mm-hmm. And then they step forward and then it starts this whole chain of reaction.
And Terry's family was chosen to be part of that chain of love.
And the emotion, we were all just wringing wet from crying.
The front porch was full of presents.
Just full,
and,
yeah.
About 50 of our friends and family all gathered together. We sang a few Christmas songs.
And just being poured over with gifts, blessings I call them.
And just like that, Santa was on the receiving end.
Best Christmas ever came at a time when I couldn't do the things I wanted to do, and yet, which is give to others, and now I'm getting poured on and given things to us, and that was just very overwhelming.
The second largest school district in the state made a big change in the way that it honors Indigenous culture. The ritual smudging is now allowed inside of classrooms in St. Paul Public Schools. Former Johnson High School students are the young voices who spoke up and pushed for this policy. Marielle Moe spoke with some of them as they guided current students through a ceremony.
It's a way that you can cleanse the energy around you and just be in tune with your culture.
Once the native medicines of sage, sweetgrass, cedar, or tobacco are smoldering, sending up smoke, the smudging begins. Students and staff taking in the ritual in their own unique way.
We're like a sponge, and so for me it really helps to recenter, ground myself, to clear out any energy that's not mine to hold on to.
Alyssa Parkhurst and Adriana Wiley are part of a small group of Johnson High School alumni who pushed for the official policy on smudging. While they were informally smudging beforehand, they weren't able to do it in a safe way.
We would have to go outside to smudge, and especially in the winter, it would be really difficult.
Students can smudge during their lunch hour or in this classroom during their Native American Studies class. Staff supervision is required, which is a responsibility teacher Julia Littlewolf takes on proudly.
That was a really powerful moment just for high school students to experience having their voices, being able to use them.
This ritual is an open door for any non-Native students who are curious about it to participate.
We wanted to educate them so that they weren't ignorant on the topic and thinking it was something that it's not.
And to me it's just like a form of solidarity too.
The effort put into making this moment possible was not just for today, but for the future.
I'm really grateful because the students that are coming after me are going to be able to benefit from it.
In St. Paul, Marielle Moe, WCCO 4 News.
A piece of history reimagined. See a local artist's new exhibit and why he hopes it will shed new light on the Vietnam War.